Hey everyone, and welcome to our deep dive into this year's Grammy Awards. We've got a ton of sources to unpack, with the nomination lists and a bunch of expert analyses. We're really going to take a look behind the curtain of music's biggest night, you know?
Yeah.
By the time we're done, you'll know who won and also what it all means for the future of music.
You know what's really interesting about this year is how the awards show this push and pull between the future and the past. You've got artists like breaking down genre barriers and really embracing technology, but at the same time, there's this wave of nostalgia.
Yeah, let's dig into that a bit. We have to start with Queen Bey herself. Beyoncé winning Album of the Year for Cowboy Carter is huge, but what makes it really historic is that it's the first time a Black woman has ever won Best Country Album.
It's a really big deal. I
Yeah.
mean, think about it. Beyoncé, this global pop icon, is breaking into a genre that's always been viewed as like very conservative.
Yeah.
This win is a powerful statement about how artists can transcend categories and how audiences are becoming more open to music that defies traditional boundaries.
It's like she's single-handedly reshaping country music. And it's not just about her amazing voice. She's a songwriter, a producer. Like, she's involved in every aspect of making the music.
Exactly. And that creative ownership is something we're seeing more and more female artists embrace.
Mhm.
They're not just singers anymore. They're shaping the sound, the message, the entire experience.
Speaking of shaping the sound, Kendrick Lamar also had a big night sweeping the awards with Not Like Us, Record of the Year, A&D Song of the Year. His lyrics are known for their depth and social commentary, but what do you think makes them resonate so strongly right now?
Kendrick just has this uncanny ability to tap into the anxieties and hopes of our time. If you listen to Not Like Us, there's a verse where he talks about the divide between the haves and have-nots, a theme that unfortunately has become all too relevant these days. He captures that feeling of frustration and disillusionment that so many people are experiencing. And I think that's what the Grammys are recognizing, the power of his words to speak to a generation dealing with these complex issues.
It's like his music is holding up a mirror to society and forcing us to confront some uncomfortable truths. But amidst all these established stars, there's also a new face-making waves, Chappell Roan.
Oh, absolutely. Chappell winning Best New Artist is so well-deserved. Her debut album, Chappell Roan, The Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess,
Yeah.
is this amazing blend of pop and indie rock
Mm.
with this really raw and confessional lyricism that people have connected with.
Yeah, she's got this unique sound that's both nostalgic and fresh at the same time, like drawing on influences from 90s grunge to modern pop. What would you say are some of the key elements that make her music stand out?
Well, there's an underlying darkness to her music, a kind
Yeah.
of melancholic beauty that's just captivating. She doesn't shy away from exploring themes of heartbreak and identity and the complexities of growing up. But then there's also this fierce vulnerability in her voice, this rawness that pulls you in. And then you have Daniel Negro's production, which is amazing on its own. He adds these lush layers of instrumentation and creates a sonic landscape that's both ethereal and grounded.
It's a perfect marriage of songwriting and production. Speaking of power duos, let's talk about Beyoncé's unexpected win for Best Country Duo Group Performance with Miley Cyrus for Two Most Wanted.
Oh, yeah. Now, that was a surprise. It's almost as if artists are saying, forget the labels. I'm just going to create music that feels true to me. And audiences are responding to that. It's so cool to see how artists are blurring genre lines and creating these collaborations.
Absolutely. It's like the old rules of the music industry are being rewritten. Another example of this genre fluidity is Charlie XCX.
Oh, for sure. Charlie's a perfect example. She took home awards in both dance pop and the electronic album, proving that artists don't have to be confined to a single box.
It's a testament to her versatility as an artist, and it speaks to this larger trend of breaking free from genre constraints. You know, with all this talk of genre bending, one thing that really struck me is the emphasis on songwriting at this year's Grammys.
Oh, definitely. Amy Allen winning Songwriter of the Year was huge.
Yeah.
It really puts a spotlight on the craft of songwriting, a role that's often overlooked in the industry.
Totally. It reminds us that behind every great song, there's a talented songwriter weaving words and melodies together. And her list of credits is amazing. I mean, she's worked with everyone from Sabrina Carpenter to Ko Wetzel to Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, and that's what's so fascinating about her work.
Mm.
She can move between pop country, even alternative rock, crafting hits for all these different artists.
Speaking of diverse voices, we can't forget Shakira's win for Best Latin Pop Album with Las Mujeres Ya No Le Ran. It felt like a big moment for Latin music on the global stage.
Yeah, her acceptance speech was really powerful. She talked about how this award wasn't just for her, but for all Latinas who've been told their stories don't matter. It was a beautiful tribute, to the power of Latin music worldwide.
Yeah, it's like the Grammys are becoming more inclusive and representative of artists from all backgrounds, which is really cool to see.
Absolutely. And it wasn't just about celebrating different genres. There was also a real appreciation for the variety of roles in the music industry. Alongside Amy Allen's win for songwriting, we saw Daniel Negro take home Producer of the Year.
Oh yeah, his work on Chappell Roan's album is incredible. He created such a unique sound for her music.
Yeah, you can really hear his influence on every track. His ability to blend real instruments with electronic elements is what makes him stand out. He creates a sound that's both nostalgic and futuristic.
And the Grammys didn't just focus on the artists and producers this year. They also took time to honor first responders with a tribute to the LAFD.
Yeah, that was a powerful moment. It reminded us that music can connect us, heal, and inspire, even in the face of adversity. It brought a sense of humanity to the ceremony.
And speaking of connecting, another artist who had a big night was SCA. Not only did she win Best R&B Song for Saturn, but she also gave a backstage interview hinting at some exciting things to come, like her upcoming Super Bowl performance.
Oh, that's right. She mentioned working on new music that pushes the boundaries of R&B and mixes in elements of jazz and even spoken word. It sounds like she's really evolving as an artist.
She's definitely one to watch. And her Super Bowl performance is going to be epic. It's becoming such a big platform for artists to showcase their talent to the world.
Yeah, it's a testament to SCA's influence and her ability to connect with fans across different genres and cultures. It seems like the music industry is really embracing artists who are pushing boundaries musically and culturally. The lines are getting blurred, the rules are changing, and it's creating a really exciting landscape.
We've got genre-bending superstars, lyrical geniuses, talented newcomers, and powerful voices from around the world. What does all of this tell us about the future of music?
Well, if this year's Grammys are anything to go by, I think we can expect to see even more genre fluidity, more collaboration between artists from different backgrounds, and a continued focus on authenticity and creative control.
It's like the old categories are disappearing and artists are free to create whatever they want, drawing inspiration from wherever they find it.
Exactly. And technology is going to keep playing a big role in how music is made and how we listen to it. We're already seeing the rise of immersive audio and virtual concerts, and I think those trends are here to stay.
Yeah, it's opening up a whole new world for artists to connect with their fans and express themselves.
And it's letting listeners experience music in ways we never thought possible. But with all this innovation, I also think there's going to be a continued love for the classics.
Like we saw with the Beatles winning Best Rock Performance. Their music still connects with people decades later.
It just shows the power of great songwriting and how some sounds are timeless. It's like there's a comfort in those classic melodies that speaks to everyone.
So it seems like the future of music is going to be this blend of the old and the new, the familiar and the unexpected. But amidst all this excitement, I'm curious, what are your thoughts on the role of nostalgia in music today?
It's really interesting, right? We're seeing this renewed interest in older music, from the 80s synth-pop revival to the comeback of vinyl records. And it's not just the music itself, it's about the feelings and memories tied to it.
Yeah, do you think this yearning for the past is a reaction to how uncertain and fast-changing our world is?
It could be. Nostalgia can offer a feeling of comfort and stability when things feel chaotic.
It's like finding comfort in the sounds of our youth.
Exactly. And for younger generations, it's a way to connect with a cultural history they didn't live to.
And with social media, it's easier than ever to share and rediscover those nostalgic sounds. You know, another thing that stood out to me was how artists are taking control of their creative process. We saw it with Beyoncé, Kendrick, Lamar, Chappell Roan, and so many others.
Yeah, it's a trend that's been growing. With digital recording and online platforms, artists don't have to rely on record labels anymore.
It's giving them the power to be more independent and have more control over their vision.
And it's leading to a wider range of voices and perspectives in the music industry.
Yeah, it's like the gatekeepers are losing power and the artists are taking center stage.
And that's really exciting. It's making music more democratic and accessible. Anyone with talent and passion has a chance to be heard.
And with that in mind, what are your final thoughts on the 2025 Grammys? What will you be taking away from this deep dive?
I think this year's Grammys were a celebration of creativity and innovation and how music can connect us across different cultures and generations. It was a reminder that music is always changing, and I'm excited to see what the future holds.
Yeah, it feels like we're seeing a rebirth of music right now.
Yeah.
What stood out to you from this year's Grammys? What really left you thinking?
You know, it's funny. It's that thread of optimism throughout the whole night that stuck with me. Like, even with all the crazy stuff happening in the world, these artists are pushing boundaries, honoring their past and reminding us how music can unite us.
It's like a reminder, right? A reminder that even when things are tough, creativity can still shine through. We've seen artists like Beyoncé blend genres, Kendrick Lamar using his voice to talk about important issues, Chappell Roan emerging as a new force, and Shakira using her platform to reach a global audience. It's inspiring to see how music reflects and shapes our culture.
Yeah, exactly. And this brings up a really interesting question for you, our listener. Will this mix of pushing boundaries, powerful messages, and a bit of nostalgia continue to shape the music we hear in the future? The Grammys give us a glimpse of where we are now, but the future of music is still being written.
It's exciting to think about, isn't it? With all this innovation and talent, who knows what incredible music we'll be listening to in the years to come. And that's a wrap on our deep dive into the 2025 Grammy Awards. It's been a fascinating journey exploring the winners, the trends, and what it all means for the future of music. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.